Hello, and welcome to the first episode of Sailing Solo at 70. I'm David Fansler, and I'm 70 years old. Allow me to give you a brief history of my sailing background. My first experience in sailing was at about 10 years old on a sunfish. I continued to sail sunfish through my teenage years, and it was during those years that I developed the dream to do some long-distance blue water sailing. In the early 1990s, I purchased my first sailboat, a Hobie 16. My family and I would take a week-long vacation at a North Carolina beach, and it was there that I learned to launch this boat through the surf and into the ocean. While not a blue water boat, it definitely was a fun ocean boat. In 1998, I purchased a Catalina 27, which we kept in Oriental, North Carolina. Common destinations were Ocracoke, Beaufort, Cape Lookout, Morehead City. I sold that boat in 2000 and purchased a 1979 41-foot Morgan Out Island. Over the next 17 years, I sailed that boat for more than 16,000 miles over coastal North Carolina. I sold that boat in 2018 thinking that my long-distance blue water days were over. Having a waterfront tiny house on Harker's Island, it seemed a perfect place for another Hobie. So in 2018 I purchased a 21 SE, the largest Hobie cat they ever made. It was designed as a one-class racer that unfortunately never did really take off, and they only produced the boat for about 3 years. This is a fast boat. Factory specs put it somewhere around 30 knots for the top speed. I've had it up to 18, and that was fast enough for me. So last year the drive to do some more blue water sailing became more and more of an urge. I became good friends with the gentleman who purchased my Morgan Out Island. In fact, I've been to Maryland a couple of times to spend long weekends sailing with he and his family. I made a proposition to him to buy back 49% of the boat, and I would keep the boat from October to April when he had to take it out of the water due to cold weather, and he would have the boat from April to October. Much to my surprise and dismay, he turned me down. But he had an alternate suggestion. Let's go in together and buy a larger, newer blue water boat. Since I had already been searching for blue water boats, I suggested a Beneteau 50 to him. After he did his research, he agreed it appeared to be a good boat, and so the search began. One of the first things we found out was that the ads on the internet mostly are way out of date, and many of those boats still advertised have been sold. Another thing we discovered was that the boats in the U.S. were priced far higher than boats outside of the U.S. for the same boat. So our search has taken us as far away as Bulgaria, to Greece, to Italy, Spain, France, Morocco, and the Windward Islands. Over Thanksgiving Day, we finally made a decision, and an offer was accepted on a 52.2 Genoa Sun Odyssey. In December, I will be traveling down to survey and sea trial the boat and purchase it if all works out. I will leave the Windward Islands and fly back home for Christmas holidays, and somewhere around the first of the year I will fly back to the Windward Islands to where the boat is, and over the next 4 months start my journey back to the United States. The trip will be about 3,000 miles. Most all of it will be solo. So this concludes the first episode of Sailing Solo at 70. I hope if you've liked it, you'll hit the like button, or better yet, hit the subscribe button. I have some projects underway that I'll report on shortly, and as soon as the sea trial and survey are done on the boat, I'll report back with another episode then. Until then, so long.